welcome dear owlets, twitchlings and friends to my Witchtober video. So I've picked a theme for each day of the month of October. You can use the themes as inspiration in any way you like, and every day I will be posting videos and pictures over on Facebook and Instagram and as shorts on here. So to start with, day one, we have the forest, my happy place, where I go to seek comfort, grounding, clarity and peace. And here are some clips of my most recent time spent on the Quantock Hills. Number two is books, and as you can see by this very quick glance at just one of my many bookshelves, I really do love books a lot. I actually decided that November's video is probably going to be all about books, so I will definitely share with you my favourite books and take a closer look at some of those that are on this bookshelf here. So number three, and on to oracle cards. I love oracle cards and I have loads of decks, but these Seasons of the Witch ones by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Dyers are my favourite at the moment. I'm obsessed with them. In my Mabon video, you'll see I shared the Mabon deck, and this one is the Samhain deck, and it's beautifully illustrated by Giada Rose. I find oracle cards are a slightly gentler, more friendly, approachable way of sort of divination than tarot. Tarot can be very like, it's your fault he's left you, whereas oracle cards are like, oh, he's left you. Anyway, I loved the fact that I picked these 3 cards. We have crystals and herbs, then owl. Couldn't make this up. I picked owl in the Mabon one as well, and then this one, which is another favourite of mine, witch. To find out the meanings, you'll have to buy the deck. Number 4 is altar, and I've started to prepare my altar for Samhain festival at the end of the year. We will look in a little bit more detail on this tree later on in this video though. The Felt Witch is made by Linda G. You can really put whatever you want to on your altar. I like to have something that represents all of the elements in there somewhere, and it will change before we get to the 31st of October, that I can guarantee you. Number 5, potions. The definition of a potion is a liquid with healing, magical or poisonous properties. A potion can be anything from a sloppy mud pie made with puddle water to a cup of herbal tea to a homemade essential oil blend. Other types of potions include tonics, tinctures, moon water, salad dressings and more. There are many different shapes, sizes and colour bottles that you can use for your potions. But if you're making essential oil blends, I would use dark brown or blue glass bottles as it protects the oil from sunlight. If your bottle or jar has a metal lid, that can react with liquid. So make sure that there's always some material or paper in between the jar and the lid. You can find lots of interesting bottles at car boot sales, antique stores or jumble sales. And you'll find most witches have a little bit of an obsession with bottles. Night Owl Essential Oil Blend. If a good night's sleep you've missed, dab this oil on your wrist. Take a moment, breathe in deep. Soon you will fall off to sleep. Magical Me. If you're down or feeling blue, if you've lost your faith in you, dab this on and count to 3. Say, I believe in magical me. Number 6, feathers. I've made this wreath of feathers using all the different feathers that I have collected over the years when I've been out and about. Every single one has some kind of meaning or significance to me, or I remember where I was when I picked it up. For example, these peacock feathers are from a venue that we quite often do weddings at. I'm really excited that there are some owl feathers in amongst this lot as well. Number 7, Twitchlings. If you're new to my channel and you don't follow me already on Facebook or Instagram, you might not know what I'm all about or what a Twitchling is, but it's the word that I use for children aged 9 to 12. Owlets are aged 5 to 8. So these little Twitchling dolls are little kind of witches. They're zodiac ones, so there's a different one for each of the zodiac signs. And they are available on my website, which is twitchandthewitch.com, or over on my Etsy shop. Although I have sold out of, definitely sold out of Cancer and possibly Sagittarius. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head, but they're really cute and I will be making some more of them. Number 8, and we're on to familiars. Now actually there is a difference between a real familiar and just your pet. I would say that these two don't actually count as familiars. I was hoping Shadow, the cat here, would become a familiar, but he's still quite young. This one here, this is my real familiar. I had to say goodbye to her, unfortunately, my old lady, last summer, but I was very, very strongly connected to her. And in fact, if she was out and about outside, all I had to do was close my eyes, imagine connecting to her heart to heart, and I would ask her to come and see me or make her presence known. And within 10 minutes, she would come to the door or a window and go, "Yeah, I'm all right, I'm okay," and off she'd go again. And I miss her terribly. Oh, and this one is Luna, Shadow's little sister. She's a nutter. She's not my familiar at all. Number 9 is Owl, and you will have to check in with me on the 9th of October to find the video to learn a little bit more about who this guy is here in the clip. Number 10, Candles, and I actually decided to go with romantic vibe rather than witchy vibe on this one, because I mentioned earlier about doing weddings, and I don't know if you know, but I play in a string quartet at weddings, and this venue here is Brimpton House in Yeovil, and I'm rather obsessed with that window. I absolutely love it. Candles and old stonework just make my soul sing, so I decided to actually share some of it with you as well. Number 11, and Ancestors. This is actually one of the most important ones of the whole collection, because this time of year is a time, especially when we think about our ancestors and our roots and where we've come from, and give thanks and honour our loved ones. It's said that the veil thins and it is the easiest time to connect with them. I'm really pleased with how this tree turned out. I got it from Amazon, and all of the pictures are actual pictures of my ancestors, and it's a really nice addition to have on my altar, I think. I've also put together some spell kit bags about honouring our ancestors. The scent of calendula, and Palo Santo clears the space and makes any bad vibes go, bringing in positive light and protection so we can honour our dead with affection. Rosemary stirs and awakens our memories. Rose hips and roses show love for our families. The acorn represents the family tree, the oak standing strong for all to see. The skull is there as a reminder of the dead. Carnelian helps remove feelings of dread. Although we can't see them, we're never apart, as long as we hold them close in our hearts. So share your memories, tell their stories, both good and bad, failures and glories. Finally, pumpkin seeds bring good fortune to you. The cycle of life from the old to the new. And this year I'm adding extra protection with my favourite black tourmaline. Carry that with you for the month of October or until October the 31st as a reminder of all the ancestors that have gone before you. There is also an oak leaf shaped tag for you to write the name of one of your ancestors and hang it somewhere where it will remind you of them. And on October 31st, light the candle and say their name and sit quietly and remember them and send them thanks and love. There is also an instruction guide and a recipe for making soul cakes. Number 12, cauldron. Now, a witch's cauldron can actually be anything from a crock pot or saucepan that you use to brew up potions to this cast iron one that I have here on my altar, and I use it to burn incense in. Number 13, crystals. Now I actually have on my website some zodiac crystal tumblestones. This here is the Aquarius set because I'm Aquarius, and I love actually the size of these stones. They're a really generous sized tumblestone. Each kit has 4 stones in them. And then here on my altar, because it's Samhain, I've got my black tourmaline and obsidian for protection, and also a little pile of carnelian, the perfect stones for this time of year. Number 14, new moon. During the new moon or the dark moon, it's a good time to rest, meditate, go within and think about your goals and what you want in life. The new moon always falls in the same zodiac sign as the sun and will have a similar energy to that associated with that sign. Here is a new moon spell. Fill in the gaps with things that you want to attract. Light a candle, and as you say these words, new moon, let me share your might. As this candle I now light, while Lady Luna hides in dark, on my journey I embark. Let my soul create and play, bring and my way. Show me how I can inspire everything my heart desires. 15. Divination. Fortune telling in tea leaves, crystal balls and more. A magic spell is a word or phrase used to bring about some kind of change. Things like abracadabra, hocus pocus and open sesame have been used in many movies and books, and any fan of Harry Potter will be able to recite a whole dictionary of spells from Alohomora to the terrible Avada Kedavra. There's actually some foundation to these words, however. Abracadabra is thought to have come from the Hebrew meaning of the word I will create as I speak, and Avada Kedavra translates to let the thing be destroyed. And it appears to go back to ancient Roman times as an Aramaic language charm against disease. At certain times in history, spells have become very theatrical, with exact hand actions to the words that would be performed in a certain way. And it was even said that one wrong word would make the spell fail, or even worse, cause death. Dun dun dun! Other terms for spells are things like incantations, enchantments, or charms. And actually the word spell, in reference to magic, originates from the Germanic word spell with one L, meaning storytelling or talk. So the most important thing to know is, do spells work, and can you turn someone into a toad? While the whole toad thing sounds a lot of fun, I'm not sure magic can go quite that far, and it is frowned upon to make someone do something against their will. Our words, however, are very powerful. But it's not just our words, but also the intention behind them. It's the same as when someone says sorry, but you can tell that they don't really mean it. So you can say a spell, but if you don't mean or believe what you're saying, then it won't work. There are many books written just about spells, so it's a huge topic. You can see some behind me. There are different types of spells. So, for example, manifesting spells attract things to you. This could include things like love, money, luck. But there is a saying, be careful what you wish for. And it's worth pointing out that sometimes what we think we want is not necessarily the best thing for us. For example, you may be in love with someone who doesn't love you back, and you might want to do a love spell to make them fall in love with you. But this isn't really a good idea, as it'd be going against their will. So instead, what you want to do is a spell to attract love to you, and then the right person will find you. The best time to do manifesting spells is between the new moon and the next full moon, which is the waxing moon. You could also use days of the week, colour, herbs, crystals, candles and other props to enhance your spell. If you're stirring anything, always stir clockwise if you want to attract something. The opposite to manifesting is banishing, where you're pushing things away. So this could be removing mental blocks that are stopping you from moving on, or from cheering you up, or by removing sadness or stopping a belief that's bothering you. It's also worth mentioning at this point that we're not talking about hexing or cursing people. You don't actually need to make anything bad happen to anyone. You just want to stop them from hassling you or anybody else. So banishing spells are best performed between the full moon and the new moon, which is on the waning moon. If you're stirring anything during a banishing spell, you need to stir it anti-clockwise, or the magical term for it is windashin. Number 17, Astrology. I actually do birth charts for people available on my website, and I then turn it into a piece of art, as you can see by these examples. Number 18, dream catchers. I've got quite a few dream catchers in my bedroom, and again I also have some available on my website. So first of all, when you start using your pendulum, you want to just get the yes and no. This one I always have to do it with because quite often it will go in the opposite direction to any of my other ones. So I start by saying, can you show me yes, please? Could you show me a nice big yes? There it goes. So this one quite often will do yes in an anti-clockwise way, whereas my other ones will do yes in a clockwise way. Can you now show me no? Nice big no. Oh, lovely. And straight away it goes to a nice big clockwise direction. So you can then, once you've found out which way is yes, which way is no, some people also find out which way is maybe, you can then ask whatever question you want to. So should I carry on making this YouTube video? Yes. A nice big yes. Or should I go and have a bath? No. Okay, so it wants me to carry on making the video. That I will do then. 20 runes. I've actually gone with Witches runes because I have these two beautiful sets by Angela Crutchley of Nature's Messages. Let's get rid of this one first of all. Okay, so we're going to look at the Witches rune set first of all. The sun is all about new beginnings. The moon, transitions and changes. Flight, about movement, communication and information. The rings, they represent connections or circumstances that connect people. Romance, love and friendships. Women, traditional female abilities and characteristics. Then we get men, the traditional male characteristics and actions, or father. Next we have harvest, which is abundant blessings. Then the crossroads, making a major decision about life. The star, this can be a gift. Waves represent movement. The scythe could be sudden changes and endings. And finally, eyes are to do with psychic abilities and lifting the veil. So let's just pop all of those back into the bag. If you're doing a reading with these, you can either then select 1 or 3. I've gone with 1 this time, and I got romance. Woo! On to the next deck. This is the Witch's Wisdom runes, and first up we have the Bat, which is all about heightened sensitivity. Then the Book of Shadows, to do with knowledge. The Black Cat is the Witch's Companion, independence of mind, body and spirit. The Broomstick, all about movement and taking flight. The Cauldron, changes are afoot. This is a spellmaker one. The Frog is about cleansing and healing. Moon cycles, all to do with timing. The Spider is a creator or web weaver. And finally, the Witch's Hat offers protection. So again, let's put all of those back into the bag. We'll give them a little bit of a shuffle and see which one I pick. And it's the Book of Shadows, to do with knowledge and learning new things in life. Number 21, Wand, and here you can see the willow wand that is available from my Etsy shop or my website, and in the video clip my personal wand, which is made of a linden tree. #22 is Incense, and I have several varieties of incense and holders available on my website. I also have sage sticks for smoke cleansing. They are responsibly sourced. Number 23 is Folklore. I love learning more about traditional ways and stories of old and superstitions. So on the 23rd of October, we will be delving a bit deeper into folklore. 24 is Bottles, because, you know, a witch can never have enough bottles. It's a selection of a few of mine. #25 is Self-Love, and while I know there is a lot more to self-love than just having a nice hot bath, this kit does help to ease the stress at the end of the day. For when life is tough and hard to handle, run a bath and light a candle. Add some salts to nourish skin, light the incense, then get in. Let your cares just soak away, the perfect way to end the day. Hold a rose quartz crystal heart, it will help your stress depart and send your worries down the drain. Your life will be all rosy again. 26, Besom. I was hoping to have already made them by the time I came to do this video, but as you can see, they're still raw ingredients. So I will be making some more of the mini little broomsticks, the mini besoms, and getting them onto my Etsy shop as soon as possible. And I've also managed to get this year some eco-friendly, like the plastic wallets that they go in, so they are biodegradable. So everything in there will be eco-friendly. 27 is tarot, and these two are my favourite decks. The Crystal Power Tarot by Jane Wallace, illustrated by the amazing Roberta Ortwood, who goes by Soulbird Art, and the Witch's Tarot deck by Ellen Duggan. Let's first off pull a card from the Crystal deck, and it's number 5, the Hierophant, meaning spiritual leader and mediator, and here it's connected with my favourite stone, my birthstone, which is amethyst. On to the Witch's Tarot. Oh, and the Fool jumps out. The first card of the Major Arcana means new beginnings with a sort of almost naive innocence. I love that this one has the white dog looking like a Westie, because I used to have a Westie. 28 is the full moon. Traditionally, the October full moon is called the Hunter's Moon. This is because this was the time of year when it was important to gather as much food as possible to last over the winter. Many of the full moon names are not as relevant in modern times. If you follow Twitch and the Witch on Facebook or on Instagram, you will be aware of the Twitch and the Witch names for the full moons. Many of them are based on my characters or similar to the traditional names. I'll do a video sometime introducing all the characters to my YouTube followers. Meanwhile, here are my full moon names. January is the dog moon, February snowdrop, March hare, April flamingo, May is the May tree, June is the deer, July turtle, August frog, September apple, October witches, November owl, and December oak moon. Full moon spell. Full moon, let me feel your power, shining in the witch's hour. I release all that I fear, nothing bad can linger here. I release the guilt and shame, anger and the need to blame. As these feelings now depart, I move on with open heart. 29 is healing. Now that might not have been something that you would have necessarily expected in a Witchtober list, but actually I think it's one of the most important things about being a witch, and that is to help people to heal, or to help people learn how to heal themselves. And also as a witch, you are constantly trying to heal yourself as well, to help the world become a better place. So 29 is all about healing. 30 is pumpkin, of course. And here's one from a few years ago of our little Twitch. And finally we get to number 31 on Samhain. And of course it's all about witches. So I look forward to exploring all of this more with you over the coming days.